Please ban a hero.
My kiss.
The enemy is banning.
A punch for
Time
a
to
punch.
win.
Your team is banning.
I see lots.
Enemy is banning. Your team is picking.
Experience.
The enemy is picking.
Only light.
Please pick a hero.
The perfect combination of might and magic.
You are facing a close.
The enemy is picking.
My mission is to protect lives.
Come on, Dexter.
Your team is picking.
Alpha is online.
Wherever I go, pink.
The enemy is picking.
War never ends.
Make sure your profile name is up to 400%.
Yeah.
Welcome to Mobile Legends! 5 seconds till the enemy reaches the battlefield. Okay, smash initiate retreat. All troops deployed.
Best spot to hide.
Initiate retreat. First blood. An enemy has been slain.
We are blue. Onward!
Initiate retreat. Launch attack.
Where are the rest of them?
An enemy has been slain.
If you like weirdos,
Killing spree.
together! This changes everything.
Slain.
There's plenty of us.
Request backup. Request backup.
Yes, make light work.
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain. Enemy has slain the turtle.
Group effort! It's not me.
We're equal in turrets. Request backup. Request backup. An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain. Initiate retreat. You have been slain. An enemy has been slain. Initiate retreat! Killing spree! Our turret has been destroyed. Our turret has been destroyed. Our turret is under attack. Request backup. Our turret has been destroyed. Your team destroyed a turret.
Where are the rest of us?
An ally has been slain. Request backup. Hold out. Shut down. Unstoppable. Your team destroyed a turret. The enemy has slain the turtle. Launch attack.
The best one.
Your team destroyed a turret.
Pull it together!
Ally has been request backup.
We are blue! If you like weirdos...
Has been destroyed. An enemy has been slain. ground. Initiate retreat. Ally has been slain. Killing spree. Your team destroyed the turret.
Group efforts!
Launch attack.
Where are the rest of us?
Request backup.
Onward!
An enemy has been slain. Slain. Attack the Lord.
We are through!
An ally has slain Lord.
and Free Martese. They've been having a lot of fun times here. Obviously, we still have to look at Arteezy. He's always been in the shadows here for some reason, which I think is a bit of something that Work Osterforce has to kind of drill down on. So I want to see how he's also grown in the offseason, at least in the 1 week break that we've had after the regular season ended.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see on what Arteezy would deliver as well. Arteezy was able to have MVP performances for the past few, or let's just say the first few weeks of MPL Philippines. So that means that he does have the capacity to carry, but we haven't seen that for quite a while. So this is going to be very important for Work Osterforce. Having to have this activated mid laner in Arteezy would, let's just say, be a good thing, especially against Exort, who has consistently shown up in the past few weeks. This is the typical topsy-turvy matchup where Arteezy is the guy that popped off for the first 3 weeks of MPL. Meanwhile, for Exort, he popped off the last 3 weeks of MPL. And you would think, will Arteezy be able to go back to the MVP form that he had in the first few weeks? Or will Exort be the one to overtake everything?
Yeah. Exort coming into NXP just feels like a huge breath of fresh air for me. You know, this changed how NXP was playing, where they were used to play really scrappy. They used to take each and every team fight they wanted. But with Exort coming into the season, it felt more controlled. I think Exort brought the what do you call that? The veteran
Shotgun.
experience.
Oh, veteran experience,
right?
yeah.
He's been here. He's been in MPL for quite some time now. Coming into this season, obviously, he's been able to control the reins, take in the reins a little bit with help of James, maybe. And again, James being the sacrificial lamb most of the time instead of Yaoi, which is counterintuitive because usually it's the tank who gets a brunt of the damage. James, he takes up a lot of the heroes like the Paquito. Takes up a lot of the heroes like the Yuzhong, who are able to take that damage, and they're able to just buy a lot of time because of Spellvamp. So I want to see more of that from James. Just keep doing what you're doing. You like doing it. I feel like it's working for the team. H2O, when he picks a Ling, he's so good. By the way, Ling, great on the patch as of recent. So I don't blame them. I like what they're doing. But again, Work Osterforce feels like there's just so studied in this game.
Yeah, man, I think that's the curse of being Work Osterforce at this point. They have a certain play style that when coaches, like brilliant coaches such as Coach Doggy, Coach Dale, everybody in the league right now could definitely see on what they're up to for most of the time. But we can't discount the fact that Coach Lift as well is a smart coach. He may have used the same strategy for most of the time in the regular season, but that 1 week is more than enough for him to formulate something new for the playoff. If not something new, but maybe some things new. Literally more than one strategy. And this is where not just the players leveled up, but also the coaches. So I'm quite sure the Coach Liv has something well planned here against NXP, because they can't underestimate NXP. NXP, as Renmar or Reptar said in the panel, is the dark horses of this league right now. We never really know if they're in that championship contender form until we see their performance in this match.
Yeah, they are definitely dark horse material. Although a lot of people have been putting them as like the lead guys of the league, the scores kind of say otherwise, right? We'll have to talk about that, where they stand in the playoffs, in the regular season. That doesn't matter anymore. Back on the level, we've had a bit of a break before we go into the playoffs. I'm sure a lot has changed. Introduction of a new hero as well.
Oh,
like
yeah.
That in itself is already something to think about, which I personally predict will be used at least once in the playoffs, even as an experiment. I'm looking at you, Omega. But obviously, we're still thinking about how these players have grown.
Yeah.
Are they going to ban out the Ling? Are these things... Is 3 Martese still going to TP? These are the questions that we still want to ask coming in this one. Have they grown? How is the discipline as well?
Yeah, discipline is going to be key here for both teams, because as we talked about early on, I think we talked about this last week during week 7, the Work versus NXP matchup would be decided on a few things. One, who grew more in the regular season, and then second would be who would be the one to succumb into the pressure of the not really trash talk, but the competitive banter.
It is.
When you grab that heat and you can't play around with it, it always messes up your play style. And there's a term for it in Filipino that I can't quite translate in English. It's called gigil. And gigil is just like this feeling.
It's like
that
frustration.
It's like a mix of frustration and anger
and excessive excitement. It's hard.
It's hard to explain. It's a Filipino word, and gigil is something that they need to temper. It could be used well inside a game. It could give you passion, give you more motivation, hunger. But if you can't control it, it's gonna mess up your mind.
That's true, and I think a lot of the teams obviously will have that. But this is the opportunity to show who has more of it, right? Who has better prepared, who has not slacked off. If they had a good performance in the regular season, did they actually make use of that, right? Did they make use of the time to come up with something new? For NXP, coming up with something new isn't what I suggest, right? Because they just play so well with what they have. Like, why change what's not broken? Obviously, a little bit more emphasis on macro for me. But otherwise, with the hero picks, I love it when they pick their own hero.
Yeah, and I just have to say that we haven't seen NXP shine the way that they shine when they play Ling. They need to play that Ling. And it's been mentioned so many times that H2O is perhaps the best or one of the best Lings right now in MPL Philippines.
Maybe in the world.
Maybe in the world. Maybe. But what if you take away that Ling in the banning phase? Oof. NXP would have to be forced to play another courts. They could play the Lancelot.
Push him back on the Roger.
Push them back on the Roger. There's many things that you could do to NXP, especially in the banning phase. But another problem could arise. What if they've already forgotten about the Ling? What if they've used the Ling in the last few weeks of regular season just to make the teams think that, oh, they're going to ban the Ling on us for sure. How about we prepare the Lancelot? How about we actually release the proper Roger? I'm going to say the proper Roger. The Roger that actually wins games. Because statistically speaking, Roger hasn't been winning games in the regular season.
Yeah.
But let's see if the playoffs is any different on this Roger pickup. We are looking at a slight technical pause right now. But looking at this whole matchup, it is one of the few matches that could definitely shake up until Game 5. This feels like a Game 5 match.
I don't mind if I go Game 5 on this. I love watching NXP and Work play. Now, we're talking too much about H2O. Let's talk about Exhort, man. He's the guy who's in here for NXP, who's probably gonna go control the game with Eve. I am thinking about Eve only like 2 picks, man. Exhort, Eve, and Lunox. They got it. I don't think they've lost that much with the even Lunox yet.
True.
Right? I feel like these are the determining picks for NXP. Again, all of these are so obvious. Like, even for spectators, a lot of them, I've talked to a few of them, they've said the Lunox and the Eve are just disgustingly strong right now, even in the ranked games. I know you've had a lot of experience in that as well, right?
I mean, at this point on, I really have to agree with you over there that Lunox and Eve is by far one of the more powerful mages right now in the meta. But apart from that, though, one hero that I remember Exhort with is the Kadita pick. It might not have worked well for them, but it was special. It was a treat to watch.
There you go. Oh, we're back on the draft here, and I love it. These are classic bans. We were just talking about the Eve. There it goes.
Yeah, they cross out the band
they
of
know
too.
It. I don't like this band though. I would have really. I don't like it because it's not a good or a bad band, but I feel like it would have been so fun to watch either of these teams pick up a Cho, right?
True. I mean, we have seen like our fair share of highlights coming in from Renegades Cho, and I think it's. Is it 3 Martese? Yeah, it is 3 Martese who plays this Cho as well. A lot of playmaking potential for both of these teams. Meanwhile, for NXP, though, they're going to ban out the Uranus, which has been a pick for 3 Martese for the longest time in the regular season, and a Selena pick, and a Mathilda. All of these have been played by Workhorster 4, specifically by Unravel, Arteezy, and 3 Martese.
Man, and on the other side, I also like the emphasis on the Uranus, because these are the heroes that Free Martese baited out a lot of teams with. I remember games on the regular season where Free Martese was TPing on the top, and he lured 4 or 3 people there, and the team got wiped out.
Oh, yeah. I remember that,
You remember
too.
that one, right? That was disgustingly strong, and I love the ban here for NXP, but there you go. Instant lock on the Lunox, instant lock on the Ling. I mean, we're talking about this, and it just went there. On the other side, you have the Jawhead, highly contested. I'm surprised this got through the draft here. And Free Martese on the Paquito.
I'm really surprised here. A lot of tank bans coming in from Work Osterforce. They're really going in to shut down Yaoi as much as possible. But I have to say about this, an Akai ban and a Kufra ban just limits the capacity of NXP to perform team fights. NXP, in this particular pick on the Popolin Koopa, it looks like they're wanting to go for a pick-off composition instead. They do have the Ling, and with this Popolin Koopa, they could go for early dives. Again, the Koopa gives any team the capacity to just force fights underneath turrets, and this is going to be a powerful tool for NXP if ever they want to go for aggressive plays. But overall, I'd say that the composition of NXP right now, it's very much standard. They have wave clear coming in from the Chang, and maybe a little bit of burst damage coming in from the Lunox. But it's an understatement. That's a lot of burst damage. But at the end of the day, it's a very balanced lineup coming in from NXP. Meanwhile, for Work Osterforce, I feel like the Jawhead and the Claude will have to be able to buy, or maybe just the Jawhead.
Just the Jawhead, right?
Buy time or buy space for Chu on this Claude to perform well in the late game.
That's probably also Kosei's job, right? Because he's the majority of the clear. As the same time, it is also Arteezy on the Kagura. So I really like it. I want to see Rennie change again. Chu on the Claude is just classic. I'm surprised it didn't get banned out, but I guess they had more respect for the Hayabusa. A little bit more difficult to handle. At least for the Claude, you got some early game that you can deal with.
Yeah, and I have to agree there. NXP, I think what they did by banning out the Lancelot and the Hayabusa on the second rotation, they wanted to force out a marksman from Work Osterforce.
Yeah.
They priority picked the Ling and then banned out more cores in the second rotation of the bans. This forces Work Osterforce to either pick the Yisun Shin, a Claude, or even a Granger. But that's an easy pick-off coming in from a Ling, so they really forced out this Claude. I would say that NXP baited out that Claude, and for Work Osterforce, they know for a fact that it happened, but they do have the Paquita and the Jawhead. And that is going to be their, I think, their force, their Work Osterforce to win the early game.
Once per series.
Once per series.
For Work Osterforce, we're going to do that. But yes, absolutely. I feel like the Jawhead will be, this is going to be the anchor point for Work, right?
For sure,
This is going to be the condition whether or not they're going to get kills in the early game. Because the Paquito's going to take a long time. Even their mage, even their Kagura in the mid lane is going to take a long time to activate. Chu, good luck. I think I expect free items before he can make anything happen against a Popolin Koopa, against, I feel like this is so difficult.
It is difficult. It is very difficult. They have a lot of early game power and mid game power as well for the side of NXP. And for Work Osterforce, as I said earlier, Rockhart, or as we talked about earlier, the Claude is really going to take some time to be able to activate by late game. So it's up to the Jawhead, up to the Farsa as well, as you said, to buy space for the Claude to flourish. It's going to be a long game for Work Osterforce. Meanwhile, for NXP, they're going to try to force this down by mid.
You said the win condition right there for NXP. Just go ahead and finish this before 12 minutes. You're golden. And mind you, NXP has shown that they can finish games quite early as long as you give them some leeway. And there seems to be a lot of leeway here. So, oh my gosh, the job of Unravel here.
Yeah, it's
quite heavy.
Quite heavy. He is going to be the key for Work Osterforce to shut down the lane. And we've
yeah.
talked about the keys to victory in our pre-show panel early on. It's one of the objectives for Work Osterforce to actually shut down H2O's Ling, and for good reason. As you said earlier, Rockhard, one of the best in the world in that Ling pick. You leave it open, you let him play, it's going to be a hard time for you. But if you're able to shut him down, then that's going to be a big statement coming in from Unravel.
I really like this. This is a new thing here that we have. Let's change that a little bit. I didn't catch it. There you go. We're already loaded up, and it is game time. Work Osterforce versus Next Play Esports, game number 1.
Game number 1 between these teams. A lot of history, a lot of beef. Bad blood brewing is our theme right now for this first match of the day. And I wonder how much of that bad blood would reflect on this matchup.
Yeah, you can. That's where you can get that giggle factor, right?
Yeah.
That's where you can tell that, you know what, I can sense the giggle coming in when how they play, with how aggressive they become, especially in the early game. If they are gonna go contest these buffs, which Yaoi is doing with a very good job of keeping Unravel low, which again I mentioned. If Yaoi didn't do this, they're probably gonna get invaded by Unravel. Oh,
Arteezy!
Yaoi though gonna get taken now for first blood. Kosei with the pickup. I love it that they were able to collapse that fast.
Well,
surprising.
Yeah, that was a fast rotation. I think good communication on the side of Work Osterforce. And NXP, they were a little bit too confident on that rotation. The Popolin Koopa was alone, entirely alone in that full rotation, trying to go aggressive, and it wasn't Koopa.
Renegade?
Oh no!
What? Did he flicker?
That was...
Yeah, I love it. He used the flicker, but it was way too late. It was way too deep. How did Work position that quickly? 3 people surrounding a Lunox, that he forced the flicker out, but he was still dead.
Well, this is that's a big question to put out, Rockhard, but I have to give it to Unravel here. Shu is you already know that he's a great Claude player. He knows how to effectively clear out camps fast. But apart from that, Unravel gave him the space to do so. Unravel gave him a proper leash around the jungle area, and after that, it was just smooth sailing for the side of Work Osterforce. And what's surprising here, Rockhard, is even against a Popolin Koopa, they were able to be the first one to rotate to the gold lane and land a killing blow on Renegade, and this is going to be bad for NXP.
It is. That's 2 kills that didn't seem to have any form of answer at all, which is contrary to what we said, that they're supposed to be the guys who are a bit more aggressive on the early game. But, man, what Work did was they played around Unravel, which is smart. I thought Unravel was going to go solo a lot of these times, but with the help, apparently, if Unravel gets ignored by just a split second, right? Just a split second was all you need. Like, that's all they need to make those kills happen. And again, those are kills that don't have an answer. Look what's happening here.
Well, what's happening here is that Work Osterforce just got 700 gold for free. And apart from that, no answer. As you said, NXP, they need to find opportunities of the same form. They need to be able to take down get pickoffs without having trades for them to just equalize the gold, because as we are looking at the gold score right now, that's already a 1,300 gold lead for the side of Work Osterforce, and nobody has even taken Turtle yet.
Yeah, that is so surprising, and at the same time, Work's Chu is just chilling.
Yeah.
He's not even exerting that much effort. Don't forget, he also got 2 assists. So the gold for the Claude right now is just massive, even without those kills. Now we're gonna go for Turtle T. Unravel here, gonna get a little bit of damage in from Exorb, but the flicker in by Fremar. TZ gets some pretty good beefiness. James with the flicker and the Daytona's welcome will slow down Fremar, and that's gonna be the kill.
Well, Fremar TZ, I think it's not yet over though.
Not
Unravel and RTZ.
That was a quick answer. That is 2 for none. And NXP, they are back. They got turtle control. They're not afraid to use it.
Well, we did talk about how NXP should get a favorable trade, or maybe just get 2 more kills just to even out the gold, and they did so perfectly with no casualties. And now it's an even game again, and looks like they're gonna get the turtle as well after winning that fight. It's very important to win team fights or small skirmishes before objectives spawn, mainly because you give yourself the space to take that big objective, and that big objective
of the day, by the way, hashtag Giggle. Work was flickering in.
Yep.
in the middle of free Martisi, flickering in the middle of 3 people, without even without all the skills on cooldown. That is just
trademarked giggle over there.
Hashtag Giggle.
All of the beef, all of the frustration, all of the bad blood going in with the aggression here for Work Oster Force, biting them at the back as well. It's the same thing for NXP, honestly, but who tempers it better would be the winner here. Look at this, though.
James, oh my god, Unravel with a great ejector will push James out of no man's land, and that's going to be another kill. Work Oster Force didn't seem to be phased by the 2-0 that was given to them in the last engagement.
Well, looking at what's happening right now, Work Oster Force seems to still have the same aggression and still has the same giggle factor that we want to see for them. And looks like Work actually has milestones coming in. A total damage to turrets in Season 7 may exceeded. Is this 60 million?
That was 60 million. That's
a big number. That's a big number.
That might have been 6M, but we'll see. We'll see later on, as we do see that. Oh my God! Look at this. NXP actually got a big pick-off supposedly, but Unravel's going to be a 1-for-1 only. And Chu feels like he's ready to go for more, but not really. No orange buff means he's going to have to back off for the bit.
Yeah, and H2O finally getting his first kill of the game as well. This is going to be great for Link's power spike by the time we enter mid-game. I just have to say that Xort has already picked up his Clock of Destiny, but this is not quite late, I think. This is a very standard Clock of Destiny in the mid lane by 4 minutes of 40 seconds. And that's actually quite fast because usually the people in the gold lane get that Clock of Destiny by 3 minutes or 4 minutes though!
Look at that. Chu is going to be quite low. Xort again answering blow for blow. Gonna be at 1-for-1, but that's not gonna be for long here. We got H2O, he's angry for blood. Tempest Blaze goes down as well. Kosei, no way out. Unravel forced to watch his teammate fall, and Yaoi's gonna be catching up with the Koopa Bite. They're gonna be able to go for the dive, but that is a pretty good equalization being done by
RTZ!
RTZ, oh my gosh! Brilliance just in time, knocked off by H2O as well, by Yaoi rather, and H2O for the kill.
And this has been a very chaotic game so far. 6 minutes in, and we are seeing 11 kills on the table and a lot of trading as well. NXP and Work Oster Force, this is what we want to see. This is what the fans want to see. Pure aggression in one match, and we're not stopping with these fights.
Yeah, that's right. Again, Unravel is so key in these fights. But again, you cannot really go too hard because Yaoi is going to be able to get you back in control. Xort as well. Beautiful play here on the Lunox so far.
And 2-0-3, perfect KDA so far, and that's comparable to Kosei, who only has 1 death on this far sub. It looks like 3 more.
Might be in trouble here. Paquito can't lifesteal if he stunned up. And that is another one going for NXP.
Yeah.
Definitely dead equal on the gold right now.
Yeah, 18.8 to 19.2. That doesn't even matter at this point. H2O and the gang here, Xort, James, they're going to go for the 3-man push. And Work, they just had to respect it.
Yeah, not much that can be done there. And this is the early game that we're talking about for NXP finally kicking in. Their early game damage is just showing at this point. With Kosei not in the map, there's just no way that they can clear.
Yeah, and speaking
Work can clear rather.
And speaking of clear, Renegade already online on this Chang probably could force something to happen with a clear space.
Unravel gonna get picked off. Flicker not gonna be able to save him. Huge resources burned for Work.
Well, you would say that Unravel got unraveled in the mid lane there. 3 people just bashing in. That Jawhead looks like James is next though.
James gonna be next here with Daytona's welcome, trying to get some of that HP back. Throws back. Free Martisi will be a 1-for-1. Xort goes down as well.
Chu does get the shutdown kill though on Exhort, and that's going to be massive for Work Osterforce. Gold on the Claude is what they want. They want to reach that late game, and I feel like this is very deceptive. The game is close, but late game is the power spike of Work Osterforce, and meanwhile NXP, they don't want this game to be close by 8 minutes. They want to be winning in this phase.
That's right, because there is a Claude that hasn't been joining the fights that much. And if I really hope we get an item check, because right now I want to see where Chu's at. He's level 12, and with free items, he could be ready to go for the big 5v5. Unravel, though, will be face-checking a lot, which is quite risky. Kosei, a little bit of spot there with Feathered Airstrike. Exhort is going to be low. Ruby DD into the enemy territory, but will be forced back as the rest of Work are in the area.
It looks like Turtle will be started by NXP, though a fight will happen for it. Half HP on the Turtle.
That's going to be Daytona's welcome. They get taken out. Unravel will be out.
Chu on the backside.
And Chu gets the Turtle. He's got some good damage, and could be one more. Could be one more going down, but the pause goes in.
Could have been a fight that Work Osterforce would clear out. We did see a beautiful blazing duet coming in from Chu, but not quite there yet. The damage isn't too devastating, and we are seeing a lot of members that are very low on the HP side for NXP. Turtle already secured for Work Osterforce, so this equalizes the Turtle takes of the game. NXP did get the first Turtle. It looks like Work Osterforce will be taking down the second Turtle of the game. Looking at the match right now, Rockhart, I have to say, NXP, they are winning in the mid game, and this is something that's quite obvious. But Work Osterforce, we haven't even reached late game, and they're already winning skirmishes like this one.
It's surprising, to say the least, right? But what's more surprising for me is Work Osterforce just being dead even. And they're even getting Turtles.
True.
Which Chu's not supposed to be able to do because of the presence of the Popolin Koopa and as well as the Chang'e. I mean, come on. That's not supposed to happen, but so far, Chu has been outplaying the engagement he's being put in. And that's a good sign for Work. For NXP, though, I really like that they are constantly going for the kills as much as they can. They're back to their old form. They're back to their confident self that they can take fights even though they're not supposed to. Even if they're a man down. But we're going to see here, as the fight resumes, H2O going to be quite low. Force of Finch Force on out there. Renegade taken out as well by the Feathered Airstrike. Exhort, oh my gosh, just got knocked out by Free Martizi's Paquito.
Well, not only did Work Osterforce secure that Turtle, but they secured 2 kills as well to even out that trade. And that means that 2 for 2 plus the Turtle, Work Osterforce definitely won that trade, but looks like Arteezy steps on the trap as well.
Might be in trouble. Yowie with the Popo Koopa bite, follow up by H2O. Taps the blades, pushes up, Unravel.
Chu!
Chu there will be limited with the Blazing Duet damage, but that doesn't matter. I don't care. Knock me up. I'm gonna basic attack myself to victory.
5-1-3. The Claude right now is online. There's no doubts to it. The damage is already there. And NXP, now they have a demon on this Claude to deal with. Exhort has to run away.
Free Martizi, seriously, come on, man.
Well,
this is old school Free Martizi at this point.
Well, they are still young players here, but we are seeing an old school gangster type of Free Martizi gameplay. You already know it. They know for a fact that they have the lead with Claude.
Oh, wait.
Ramping up the late game, too.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't know how the Claude got survived in this game. He's just coming in at the right moments. Even with the cancel on the Blazing Duet earlier, his basic attacks are just so strong.
And not just strong, but he is quite durable as well. Looking at the way Free Martizi has built his Paquito, his latest item pickup is the Oracle. Wants to amp up
bonus
that
damage,
healing.
Right? That's a bonus item already.
Bonus item already.
We go Unravel with the Unstoppable Force. Actually could be in a bit of a pickle.
Oh
Nicholas
no!
Welcome pushes him back. Immortality will be popped.
H2O though.
Chu's still alive though. He's still got the Blaze Duet. He is saving it for a rainy day, which did not happen. Unravel is going to be the only casualty there. But I feel like there could have been more.
Well, they could have been more if NXP wanted to take more members from Work Oster Force, and I think that could have gone south for them. H2O was already very low in that fight. If they went on to get more kills, Work Oster Force would have reset after reset, and it's going to be a Claude game.
And it was so funny because Chu literally held back the Blazing Duet, like, okay, you want to fight? I'm going to use this. Don't forget, I haven't used it yet. So I feel like that's what happened there. That's what forced NXP back, is they know that he could pop off at any moment.
Yep, and you gotta respect the Claude at this point. 5-1-3, and you know that this Claude had the best record in MPL Philippines Season 7 in the open qualifiers, and for a good reason. Chu is by far, if the best Ling in the world
is
H2O,
right,
then possibly the best Claude in the Philippines is Chu.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. There are a lot of people that really are looking at Chu right now, but where is Unravel? Looks like he's up on top. He'll get whittled down a little bit and pushed back with a missile expert. Chu, though, gonna get some good damage. Even the Koopa can't survive. Arteezy with the flame shot gets a kill, and that forces NXP back. James could be in trouble. He's under the umbrella.
3 Mars in the backside.
Intercept. That is a knock-up, but the flicker will be used by James. Daytona's welcome. Let's go.
Might be a turnaround.
That could be a turnaround there, and he goes back in. Oh my god, did you see that? That's going to be James. He's left alone, but the damage is nowhere to be found. Meteor Shower's already used up, and Free Marteezy with a sticker out, while Chu works on the lure.
They might have tried to get 3 Marteezy there, but they tried. They just tried because 3 Marteezy, he survived that, turned that play around for NXP, and just gave NXP a taste of their own medicine. This is OG 3 Marteezy we're seeing right now.
It was like Free Marteezy. James gave Free Marteezy the entrance into the back lines and then allowed the ultimate to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite the play coming in from 3 Marteezy, and let's take note that 3 Marteezy is a rookie in this season. A rookie playing this well. In fact, rookies in Work Oster Force playing this well.
Yes.
This is very amazing to look at. But I'm quite sure that NXP, they're not over yet. This is just the first game. And
I don't think so. Yeah.
I feel like they could still do something in this first game. They have the Chang'e. They could potentially turn this into a late game situation where they could potentially face the Claude.
They've got massive late game, I'll be honest. Even the Claude usually has problems with a Ling, which again, that gives hope for NXP, right? Even though the Chu is like so fed right now on the Claude, I still have a lot of confidence that H2O is going to be able to pull off something with the Ling. I feel like Renegade on the Chang'e is not a coincidence, right? The Chang'e is going to be able to help keep the waves in check while H2O is able to go around it. So the games that NXP won with H2 with the Ling are the games where H2O flies off to different angles of the map or different sides of the map while the team fight happens. So I feel like it's not on H2O so much. It's more of the rest of the team. Can they sustain a 4v5 for quite some time, and while H2O does his thing?
Well, that's gonna be that's gonna be a question about to be answered by NXP, because what you just said, Rockhart, could be the potential key to victory for NXP here. Their win condition so far in this game, because the thing about win conditions is it always changes by the time the game starts. And right now, the win conditions that we discussed earlier is way different. We didn't expect Work Oster Force to win the early game, mainly because of misplays coming in from the Popolin Koopa, or Yaoi in particular, and a couple of good plays coming in from the Jawhead of Unravel. So this is why the win conditions differ. And what you said, Rockhart, and what the viewers would want to watch is, again, NXP trying for that different win condition, because I think Work Oster Force have already achieved their prior win condition. They've targeted the mages, they've tried to shut down the Ling, and they've made this Claude go online as fast as possible.
Actually, a little bit too fast, I think.
A little bit too fast,
it's already 12 minutes. I feel like it's already on 6 items, or 5 items. Right now, the H2 is the target here for Unravel. We're back in the game, and as you can see, Kosei just on the back line, just making sure he can work up those minions. And Work is pushing NXP back into their base.
And I think this is only the effect of the Lord here marching in, and I love how the minion waves are set up. Work Oster Force, they're gonna push down mid lane. It's all gonna crash down at the same time, and Work Oster Force, they're making NXP take a choice, and all of those choices have consequences.
Absolutely. Even the Lord right now gonna get taken out means a big chunk of damage on the top side. Flicker in for Unravel, pushes back, but the flicker back is happening. James as well. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be free of Martese. Gonna have to force to back off. I did not see Chu work in that fight.
Yeah, and looking at what is happening right
What's
now,
Chu doing?
Chu's trying to take down at least one turret. They failed to take one turret with the Lord, and they had to force that out.
It was funny because it was an indecisive moment for work, but NXP is still going hard at it. They know that this.
Oh no, Arteezy might just go in.
That's gonna be Arteezy going down as well. And there's the Blazing Duet. Renegade the first target here. Low for Kosei. That's one kill for H2.
Tempest.
Tempest Blades avoided by Chu as well. Ooh, solid damage,
wow.
but the life is being returned thanks to the lifesteal by Free Martese with the fight. Oh my god, Chu, he's going back.
He's going in. Might just be a turnaround.
It is a turnaround there. James as well. No way out. A flicker in. I think that was in vain. H2O not really in any form of the fight.
This is a 2v1. H2O might just pull off the miracle play here, but he will just Finch Poise out. Can't even chase Ling even if you tried. But he goes back!
Oh!
Yo, the highlight.
That was going to be a highlight play. Unravel with Ejector and the swag.
Oh no. That was a... I hate to say this, but even if you're the best Ling in the world,
yeah,
it's
you
still,
can't do that.
It's still a Jawhead. And it's still a Claude in the late game. Man, that is such a bad decision.
He could not do that 2v1. I could not see it. I mean, I like the audacity.
I like it as well.
You saw that turnaround. That could have happened. But
it
again,
felt confident.
It did. But the BMI was in place. And let's have a look at the replay.
Man, look at this. This fight was merely decided in seconds. You would think the Work Oster Force just won this fight all throughout, but H2O with a comeback here, the damage and zoning out Chu was more than enough for NXP to take the first few kills, or perhaps this whole fight. But here comes the mistake coming in from NXP. They stayed too long. The Barats was too tanky, and then the turnaround coming in from Work, feeding on the Claude that's already online. And apart from this, the thing that happened after this replay is actually the 2v1.
Yeah, the instant replay, by the way, brought to you by the Oppo 894. That 2v1, I feel like that was the key moment. But again, that would have been such a long replay. And we do have the late game, the end game happening here for Work. What is their play? Do they have to wait for the next Lord? And how is NXP going to climb out of the hole that they're in right now? They're currently down by around 6k, which is not that much in this point of the game, to be honest.
Yeah, and the Ling still deals a lot of damage, just not in a scenario where you have to suffer the wrath of Unravel while trying to get down the damage of Chu. So maybe in a scenario where the Ling could potentially free hit or find Chu in a bad place, but not with Unravel. This Jawhead would definitely stop the Ling in its tracks. Even if you're the best Ling in the world, you need to respect your enemies at this point.
Yeah, you just gotta watch out. You can't really take out Chu instantly, so I think they might have to work on someone else.
Yeah, might be Kosei.
Yeah, I feel like either Kosei or Arteezy are the soft spots of this lineup, because Chu seems like the juicy target, but you can't really catch him, especially with the BMI. There's going to be a big fight. Kosei with the flicker out just forces James. I don't think James used the ult. He did. All right. So that was going to be the Daytona's welcome
Arteezy
with the flicker. And again, we do have Arteezy and Unravel showing themselves up. Arteezy not so much. Unravel might be the focus here for NXP. Oh! Forces out the Tempest of Blades with just one Seimei Umbrella open.
Well, he had to respect that ultimate. If the full combo from Arteezy was used there, he would have been a goner the first second. He had to burn his ultimate, and now that signals Work Oster Force to start the Lord. Will NXP contest here?
Yeah, this is going to be the big contest, and I think it will be taken!
Exort!
That is going to be Exort with the pickup on the Lord,
H2O,
but who
though
is going to be left alone to fight? That's the Ejector for Work, and that is 2 down for NXP.
And
That's going to be Ling out as well.
A 5v3. NXP does have the Lord here, but the minion waves are about to crash on their side of the map. They have the Farsa, they have the Chang'e on their side. Might just be crucial here to defend.
Beautiful zoning there from Kosei, allowing Chu to take down the target. That's the immortality down for Unravel as well. The Lord will be walking on the top side, but will that be the fight? I don't think so. Chu.
3 Martese!
3 Martese is left all alone here, and there's just going to be the Feathered Airstrike to help him out. Will not be enough. That's Yaoi for the kill. Top lane, though, we got Chu working on the Lord already.
Wow, NXP defended that perfectly. That could have been a game-ending push coming in from Work Osterforce, but using the Chang, using all of the tools that they had to defend, they were able to delay this game up to a point that H2O was there again.
Unravel with Unstoppable Force making a zigzag maneuver. That's Chu waiting for the Blazing Duet cooldown. Lord goes down as well. Basic attacks with the DHS really do take a chunk out of that big guy.
Yeah, and James in the mid lane trying to push a little bit, and this is quite crucial. If you look at the map, NXP has only taken down 1 turret total.
Yeah, that's...
that is very big of a difference here.
That's right, and again, Unravel! Wrong time to do that face check, 48 seconds out. This could be the opening that NXP was looking for.
Yeah, and they could potentially just go all in or do the GG push from all the way the outer turret once the death timers come in big, the TikTok timers that we call.
Exactly. TikTok timers, man. They hurt. They hurt a lot. Now Chu, though, will be able to at least go here. Fast rotation from NXP could take out the turret, and I don't think it stands a chance.
And look at this. 3 Martese already melting even with the Oracle.
Yeah, that's right. That is the Oracle and the Queen's Wings passive. So the damage is real here as well for NXP. Top lane, there's a lot of... I love that you brought up the towers, because that's also a lot of standing gold that NXP can take on the map, which they are taking, which is making the gold lead not so much of a lead, more of an equalization for NXP.
Yeah, and pressure as well around the map. The more turrets that they try to take down during the late game means they could potentially go for more plays using that Ling. Again, the Ling is the most mobile assassin in Mobile Legends. And if you give the Ling some map pressure and remove some turrets, you're in for a good day. NXP, they're slowly changing their win condition from trying to pick off targets to actually getting Unravel once again.
Unravel, though, will be caught once more without any answer from Work, the defensive Blazing Duet. Work Osterforce slowly losing out here, because I feel like NXP is just boiling, chilling, or angry to go in for more.
Perhaps the veteranship is kicking in for NXP and Unravel. He was the star of the early game, and looks like that star is burning very dimly right now in the late game. And Unravel, this is the 4th time that he has been picked off for free. You could forgive him for the first 2 times, but in the 4th time, it's going to be bad. And look at this, 3 Martese.
Come on.
Why?
Why?
It feels like he's not a tank anymore.
Yeah, I feel like that's just the case here.
Chu, though.
Chu with the Blaze Duet here into the fight. Not really that much of a problem for H2O with the cleanup here of the Ling. HP just goes back in. Is that the Maniac? I think it will be. Just a little bit of time bomb in. And that will be the Maniac. Unravel left on the map with 60, 50 seconds. I don't think that's a defense that's going to be happening anytime soon.
And the best Ling of the world comes through for NXP. They're going to take Game 1 away from Work Osterforce. H2O fans rejoice because he just went online and NXP secures Game 1.
That was an epic comeback if I've ever seen one myself. NXP would win. Again, that winning moment is brought to you by the Oppo A94.
And look at these people. They're just really happy to take the first game of the series. Setting the pace is something that you want to do when you're in this very crucial lower bracket matchup. Again, for everyone watching, this is a best of 5 series, and whichever team loses this match has to go home.
Yeah. Again, we don't really need to panic too much if you're a Work fan, and if you're an NXP fan, just keep the fire going, right? This is the highest level of MPL right now. I am super surprised by the turnaround. It felt like Work just ran out of gas
True.
just before the finish line.
they could have finished this very fastly in the mid-game. They could have just ended it with Claude going online early, and Ravel was stellar in the early game, but in the late game, it felt like he ran out of gas. And this is very similar to how the regular season played off for Warcaster Force. They went real hot weeks 1 to 3, then weeks 4 to 7, it feels like they found themselves in a tight spot. I do hope that they recover from this loss. It's still a very exciting series to watch, and NXP, they're celebrating right now, but the job isn't over yet.
Yeah, that was a huge momentum gained by Next Play Esports. Now, work. How are they gonna come back? That's a big question for a lot of people right now. How could they throw away a big lead like that is my question.
Well,
that was a huge lead.
That's something that they have to figure out on themselves, but I'm quite sure their resident analysts would be able to explain that to us even further. But looking back at that game, Rockhart, that just shows that this series will be packing.
Yeah, I feel like, and as I see right now, there are 2 of them compared to the regular season's 1. This should be more interesting because I feel like we have a lot to learn in that matchup. And you guys watching at home, there's a lot to learn. If you watch that, that's how you do an epic comeback.
Yes.
Right? Slowly, methodically, and without hesitation, which I think is the key. Even though they lost very hard on the early game, they allowed a Claude to farm, right? But did it matter? Apparently not. Not that much. And that's what I love about NXP right now. Resilience and their just ability to pick themselves up in a very bad spot.
Yeah, and the discipline that they had in certain fights definitely gave them that late game win. There was a moment that they could have gone for more kills, but they called out. They wanted to play it safe, and they wanted to take kills only when they have to. And this is a very good showing coming in from NXP. That means that their discipline has leveled up just in time for the playoffs, and that discipline is showing in this game 1 where they were behind severely, but they were able to play at, let's just say, at a very safe and a very lethal way in the late game. And I just have to say, Next Play, they did surprise us, but it feels like a different Next Play right now. I kinda miss the Next Play where it's just all chaotic, but hey, good for you guys for improving your discipline.
That is the thing, right? For Next Play, for work, not really that much of a problem. When Free Martisi was doing the sticker plays, it was not crucial, right?
Yeah.
He could get out. So that's not the discipline we're talking about, right?
Sorry, I just figured out something very very baffling here.
What?
There was no recalls or no stickers at all coming in from NXP. They were game face on.
Maximum focus.
Maximum focus.
Even in the winning moments.
Now that I realize it, that's why it felt so different. They played in such a very, well, not generic, but a clean way.
The cleanest way possible and surgical. They were like surgical in that last, especially in that last team fights. They knew what they had to do, and they were utilizing Yaoi. Maximum utility on that Popol and Koopa. I really liked how they like, you know when Popol sending out Koopa? Like, it felt like Popol was sending out the whole team alongside Koopa.
Yung Joe, many teams ay iba ba na lang talaga yung Joe, pero prepared ang side ng NXP. Nakakuha sila ng isang Popol and Koopa na nakita natin sa early, pati na rin dun sa late game, ay naging malaking factor. In the mid game, siguro nagkaroon ng magandang play si Unravel na tayo mismo na-amaze kahit sa mga Lord fights, paghanap niya ng magandang peeling against NXP. But in the end, nakita natin ang gandang advantage you get from this Popol and Koopa versus the